Some of you already know me from my former role tonight as the Fanny Pack Flower Girl. But tonight I have the honor of having another hat on my head. I'm Tyler's best man. Now, when Tyler asked me to be his best man, I was so excited. Because, the best man has two of the best jobs of the whole wedding. First of all, make sure the groom's not too hungover for the ceremony. And when you have a 6 p.m. ceremony, it's not too bad. And second, is deliver a fun, heartwarming speech that makes people cry from laughter and from heart. Now, because I've known Tyler my whole life, this speech was easy. I wrote it in like 30 seconds. I had so many memories with him. But then he told me something that shook my world. He said I had to keep it PG. So naturally, my entire speech had to go in the trash. So there I was last night, 3 a.m. in Tyler's parents' hotel room's bathtub, finishing my 5th White Claw, thinking, what am I going to do? And I thought to myself, what is a best man speech? Best man speech is all about a man finding his true love, about finding his other half, the man that complements his soul entirely. Thankfully, Tyler found his 12 years ago. We met me. It was 2nd grade. We were in Miss Claybo's class. I walked right up to him and said, hey, I'm Zach Lambert. I'm new here. Do you want to be my friend? And that's when Tyler said 3 words that would shape the rest of our future we had together. He said, shut up, dipstick. Folks, this started a 7-year Cold War between us, where we hated each other. Anytime we saw each other in the hall, we would whisper slurs, we would shove each other, and do the occasional paper hornet. And if you know what that is, you really lived a life. But all that changed one day when our buddy Hayden Williams told me, Tyler's actually a cool kid, you should invite him over. I was like, okay, I'm having a bonfire this weekend, we'll have him over. And that weekend, 2 things crazy happened. First, we accidentally lit one of my dad's trees on fire. We were completely sober somehow. And second, and more importantly, I knew that I had not just made a buddy, I had made my number one. My number one was made right there on that day. Together, we did some of life's greatest accomplishments. We learned so much with each other. We learned the spirit of adventure, which climaxed to a point where a couple years ago, we threw a dart at the map the night before Thanksgiving, said see you to our family, and then we went to West Virginia where we got tattoos with an absolute stranger. I know you're thinking, yes, we should have been murdered. But here we stand. We learned to laugh at our own defeats and stupidity, which really came to fruition a couple weeks ago when we went to our bachelor party in Myrtle Beach. The night before we were supposed to leave, we lost my car keys. I called my mom frantic saying, Mom, I can't leave. We're stuck here. 2 hours of trying to figure out accommodations. Turns out the key was on the chair in the front room under a washcloth. Not even a big one. I'm talking about like a 1x1. And one of the most important lessons that we learned in life is that if you're going to stay a summer in D.C. being an intern, do not book an Airbnb in the ghetto if you're white. It really did not go over well. He got catcalled every day. He talked to him, too. Now, I always knew Tyler would be my number one, that he would be a ride or die. Then I got scared one day. He called me up and said, Zach, I went on this date with this amazing girl, and I know I'm going to marry her. I'm like, oh, what? You're going to marry her? How many dates have you been on already? He goes, 1. That's when I said 3 words to Tyler. Shut up, dipstick. It's 1 date. I was like, prove me wrong. And by golly, he did. Over the next couple of months, he would always call me saying, oh, Haley Brooke is so amazing. She's so gorgeous. She's so funny. She's so smart. I was like, wow, I really got to meet this girl. And a few weeks later, I did. And the second I saw them look at each other, I knew that they were going to get married. Now, I was so happy for my dog, obviously. But I was a little scared as well. It means I'm going to lose my number one, my ride or die. The Bert to my Ernie, the Big to my Mac. And then I started writing this speech, and I realized something really important. The whole concept of having a number one or a ride or die is stupid. It's immature. Tyler wasn't my number one. He was my brother. And I was happy, and I was so excited because she wasn't replacing me. She was filling in for the areas where I couldn't be, where I couldn't fill in for, and emotionally and other areas. And I'm so grateful that there's someone in his life, someone in his life that'll take care of him when I'm not going to be there. Haley Brooke, thank you for taking care of my brother. I love you. Okay, now start drinking, okay?